the volume.
Turn up the volume.
You've arrived at the destination for all things Kentucky. This is the Bleed Blue Network Podcast.
What's going on, Big Blue Nation? Welcome back to the Bleed Blue Network Podcast. I am Paul, joined by my co-host, Kyndall. We're tired today.
Very, very tired after a long night in Louisville.
Very, well, a long, satisfying night.
Yes.
Watching desperation seethe out of the U of L fan base for wanting to be relevant and still taking another L.
I mean, that's kind of what we expected.
Yeah. So it's a good thing we're starting off with someone who's upbeat. The self-proclaimed biggest personality on the football team, Zion Childress. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Glad to be here. Excited.
He's like, shit, I shouldn't have said that to start before we got on.
Definitely shouldn't have said it.
Now he's just like, I got put on the spot. Man, we're really happy to have you join. Excited to kind of talk a little bit about yourself and the season, and just kind of, we'll kick it off and shoot it to you, and tell us a little bit about what's really, what you're really excited about for this upcoming season, personally, and obviously you've been here for a little while and you kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. Well, before I get into like what I'm really excited the most about this season is like my last year, so it's like, final lap of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Just excited. Biggest thing for me, I just want to be healthy going through the whole year. Because I know if I'm healthy and my body's as close as 100% as possible, then I'll perform at a high level week in and week out. But the biggest thing I'm excited for this year is definitely going back home and playing at Texas. It's a big deal for me. Since I've been gone the last 3 years, I haven't played remotely close to home.
Mm-hmm.
So being 2.5 hours from home, seeing a lot of my family and in the crowd will be exciting for me. And then plus, I never was recruited by Texas, so
little chip there. Huh?
Yeah.
I never was recruited. The only Power 5 school in Texas that ever recruited me was TCU. So there's a lot of not animosity, but there's a lot built up. Definitely,
It's a show. I'm going to show you should have. Yeah.
For sure.
I like that. It's going to be, and we've kind of talked about Texas with a couple other guys just because of it's different. And you being a Texas guy, have you been to a game in Austin?
I've been on that field a bunch of times, but a football game in Austin, I've never been to a Texas game. But I know it's rocking. I know it's jumping. When the schedule first came out, I told the guys we don't want to see them in September at 11 a.m.
No.
It's gonna be a heat that we've never felt before as a team. It would be different. So I'm glad we got them in November.
At a night game in Austin. It'd be nice and comfortable by that time, probably.
Be nice and comfortable. It's crazy part. It's still gonna be a bit toasty, but I think we'll be used to it. It's gonna feel like our indoor.
It's kind of like Miami playing down there, and it's August and September. I went to the Dolphins Patriots opening game, not last year but the year before.
Record-breaking temperatures.
I was in the stupid shade too, and I felt it was disgusting. I mean, literally just walked out. You could just bring the jersey. It was. I think probably should go back. I got fat, so maybe lose some weight, like a little sauna kind of a thing.
Action.
Yeah, it's good. But no, man, it's exciting. I think from our perspective, and it's weird though. I think actually it might have been this year we were supposed to play, I think, A&M at home. Mm-hmm. I think this was the year.
Before the realignment.
Yeah, before the realignment. Have you played A&M? You haven't played A&M yet either, have you?
I haven't played A&M. So I haven't played any like big school in Texas in my career.
It is weird. It is weird that you like never see certain schools.
Right.
Yeah, so like the question I get a lot is, do y'all play LSU or like Texas A&M? I'm like, nah, they're on the other side of the conference.
Have you played LSU?
No. I came the year after.
Yeah. God, that feel. This is starting. It was a long time ago. Holy crap! Yeah. So from the West, you've played Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
What's about it? Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
I'm trying to
Our crossover game last year.
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama.
You played Alabama twice, right?
Nah.
I thought haven't you played? Didn't you play
Ole
them?
Miss once, Bama once, Mississippi State twice.
Well, there would have been another one. Usually we play 2 West teams a year.
Yeah. So my first year was Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Yeah.
And
So you played
last
Ole
year
Miss,
was Alabama and Mississippi State.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's crazy how you never like see certain teams for like years. I think it went like we did play LSU like twice in 4 years. I think we played them in 2003 and then 2007. Then we didn't see them again until like 13 or 14.
Right.
So
and that
I
was
played them both years. They won natties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, we played them the year before I think it was the year before they won the Natty.
Kentucky beat them one of those years.
Well, in 2007, yeah.
I think that was the natty.
Yeah, that was they lost 2 games that year and still won the national championship.
What was their quarterback?
Yeah, it was Flynn. Yeah, so that was that year, and I think they played him the year before Burrow won the title. Actually,
in 18, no, they didn't play him in 18.
no, they played him.
That's the year they played Texas A&M.
No, they played him in 17. That was 17 because that was the 10-win season because they went down to A&M and lost in overtime.
In like 72 to 65. Yeah,
it was. No, that game was 20-13. I think something because we got a strip fumble with like 3 minutes left. The offense couldn't do anything. We were down 7. Got a strip fumble, returned it. The defense scored a touchdown, and then we went like 4 and out on the first drive of overtime, and then A&M scored a touchdown because we basically stacked the line. They hit the hole, and that was the end of the game. But I think it was like 20, maybe it was 26-20 something. It was real.
Was at A&M though, right?
Yeah, that was at A&M. Yeah, so it's that's the only game we've played them, and that was the 10-win season when we played Penn State in the Citrus Bowl. Yeah, that crazy game you're thinking about is Jared Lorenzen versus Arkansas at home. Like it was 6 overtimes, $7 million to $8 million. That was a crazy game. I remember watching that on TV.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I almost went to that game actually. I was thinking about it and I didn't. I really wish I would have. I mean, did I? We lost. Did I miss out? Anyway, we're gonna just go down the rabbit hole. So obviously, being a senior guy here, you've seen a lot of teams. You've been through a lot of battles. How does this team, stack up compared to the teams you've been on, especially on the defensive side of the ball, which you guys are starting to get a little bit of notice that you guys might be a little nasty this year.
For me, I say with this group, we're definitely closer. Like as a team, we do a lot of stuff together off of the field, and I think it's really carried over from last year because we were really close last year, and of course we got like majority of our guys back, like our close knit group for sure. Like we got majority of those guys back, and so it just carried into the off season. The newcomers came, and then we welcomed them in with open arms, like brothers. Really told them like just be you, be comfortable, and just like adapt to us. But we're also going to adapt to you. We wanted to make sure that everybody felt like they were at home, and that was the biggest thing coming in. Especially we have older guys coming in, so guys that maybe just got like 1 year or 2 years left. Especially like with Christian Story and Pop Dumas Johnson. So with those guys, we try to just build that chemistry because we know we're going to be on the field with them. And so with that, you got to be able to trust each other. So that would be the biggest thing. We're close. We push each other. We off the field, on the field, in the classroom. We make sure that we're on that with each other. In the safety group, we kind of got a little thing going. It's like you want to be a pro. That's what pros do.
Yeah.
So,
right.
We're pushing each other. We're challenging each other, getting the cold tub. Who can walk the most laps down and back in the cold tub? Who's going to get to the facility first? Who's going to run those extra laps after practice?
Iron sharpening iron.
Yeah, for real. And we got a lot of talent in that safety group to be able to do that, to push each other. And, so that's definitely a big deal.
What's it like having guys who have won a national championship? They've been through that grind and know what it takes to win. I think you guys got 3 guys now on the defensive side of the ball, right? That have won or been on a championship team. How is that helping you guys prepare for this season?
So for me, I just asked those guys just ask for different pointers. Like they ran pretty much. I know Pop and Christian. They pretty much ran somewhat of the same defense that we're already running. They just matched a lot more, which is like play like man and then a lot more than, and we play the zone part of it. But just asking those guys questions on how Kirby and Nick would explain certain things or how they would just coach go about their day-to-day business, how much they held their guys accountable. That's the biggest thing we're trying to get it within our group now, is holding each other accountable, holding our teammates accountable, even the top guys, like, you know, and it takes a lot for somebody to tell Dion he's not doing his job. It takes a lot for a guy to tell Barryon you're not doing your job. But when you look them in their eyes and they know you're coming from a spot where you just want the best for them and you want the best for the team, they respect it and they just go to work.
Yeah. It's that, you know, on every championship team, and this goes back to, you know, I'm a little bit older than you, but, you know, living in South Florida, seeing Ed Reed, his halftime speech playing Florida State. Yeah. I'm hurt. I'm pissed. Right. Like, and
it gives me chills. Like,
and it's that great teams are not coach led.
Right.
You know, I'm a big Florida Panthers fan, and Paul Maurice, who's a Hall of Fame coach, goes, you know, I basically, you know, he goes, that team runs itself. I just drop in from time to time to make sure everything's going okay.
Right.
Do you feel this year that you have a lot more accountability to, like, top to bottom, that you coaches don't need to say, hey, you didn't do that? Some guy's going to point that out and hold everybody accountable.
So we kind of started working on that in the spring, you know. Awesome. We got with the captains, the leaders, and we were like, we kind of really just look to appoint a guy in every position group that we think that holds itself at a high level, that goes to work every day and doesn't take shortcuts. And so when you have at least one guy in every group that does that, that's kind of infectious. Guys see that, and guys don't want to be outworked. And so once you have everybody pretty much on the same schedule of trying to get better, trying to get stronger, faster, whatnot, it's easy to hold people accountable, because if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're sticking out like a sore thumb. And so, so if we see you lacking, like, we don't like our biggest deal would be like a guy or two slipping in the meeting late, or like 1 or 2 minutes late. And we kind of just called in like a team meeting and kind of nipped that in the bud and was like, look, man, coach say meeting start at 4 o'clock, being there at 3:55. You're not in there by 4, doors closed. We see you after the meeting. Type of things like that. Just trying to be stricter on ourselves, because, you know, we have a coach Stoops does a good job with letting us be responsible for ourselves. Like, he's treating us, allowing us to build that pro mentality while we're in.
Treating you like men.
Yeah, really. So you still have those young guys that got to grow up.
Sure.
And, And so
you were that young guy not that long ago.
I was definitely that young guy, and I tell the young guys I'm around all the time, man. I was like, man, it's such a blessing to be at a place like this where you have so many opportunities to get better. You know, when I was in college, when I was at Texas State, we didn't have an indoor, so just being able to get the extra reps, and you don't got to be in the sun, or you want to go get in the cold tub and you have access to a cold tub, a hot tub, nutrition room, and just stuff like that. Just the small things that enhance you as an athlete, make you better.
So yesterday we were talking with Cutter Boley, and he said that you gave him the first kind of, oh shit, I'm in the SEC moment. He was talking about that he was trying to basically split the defense on a throw, and he laid it out there, and he goes, and Zion comes out of nowhere and just picks me. And he said that was kind of the moment. What's that kind of been like, you know, fun, you know, obviously it's probably weird playing against, you know, somebody who's wearing your jersey. You hope you do well. But hey, do you like poking a little bit at like some of the younger guys when you do something like that?
The craziest thing about the younger guys now, and I feel like when I came into college, man, these guys are talented, man. These guys are fast, they're strong, they're purely talented from top to bottom. Like this recruiting class that we had, it's up there with the class that came in when I came in, with Barryon Brown, Dan Key. They had some
and pulling some big uglies on the defensive trenches. Like, I think Kentucky's pulled 3 of the top 150 defensive line guys in the last 2 classes.
They're recruiting some talent, and so when I see these young guys at practice, not only am I like challenging them, they're challenging me. They're showing me like, okay, like this is what SEC recruiting classes are supposed to look like. And then you compete against them, like, you got to get better, because it's like we'll go run like top speeds, and then you'll look at the top speeds from the freshman group, and like their top speeds will be up there with the top speeds in our group, and we're like, they running this fast as freshmen, like it's crazy. And Yeah, but it's definitely just seeing that talent level. And then Cutter, like, I like Cutter a lot. His arm is live. His arm is really live, and he's always in the facility. That's the one thing about this freshman class too. Like, they're always in the facility.
Yeah.
Like, they like, we'll be lifting in a later time, and they had lifted already at 6:30, and they'll be in the weight room like watching us lift. Like, so I think they got like it's an infectious group with their love for the game. They all want to be around it, and so I think that'll help this class.
Who is the best trash talker on the defense?
Oh, me, hands down. Like, and it's not even like I don't even get super disrespectful. Like, I know stuff. Like, I know stuff. So, like,
it reminds me of like from Game of Thrones. I drink and I know things.
Yeah, like I talk about the high school you went to. Like, literally,
See, he does
like,
the FBI stuff.
Yeah,
for
like,
the game.
but like, I don't look it up. Like, this is just be dudes like I've already known. Like one thing, I have chips on my shoulder because I check boxes. Like, I tell people all the time, like, in the state of Texas, coming out of high school, I was ranked number 173 in the state of Texas. Like, and then like in the country, like 1,100 something. So there's a lot of motivation there. They thought 1,100 players were better than me in my high school class. So every time I see one and I know they were rated higher than me, like, I let them know, and I let them know that it's gonna be a long day for them. I let them know, like, every time you touch the ball, like, I'm gonna be right here in your face again. Like, yeah, I like the guys that talk back though. Cause
it's like putting gas in the truck, right?
Yeah, because it's like if you talk back, and it's like, all right, I got your attention now, and it's like I have like a super high focus level to where it's like, if you say something that gets my attention, and I'm like, okay, I like this guy.
I'm hitting you next.
Yeah, but I don't think nobody else really talks trash. I feel like that's kind of how I set the tone. Somebody asked me, like, do I talk trash every play? No, I don't, but I try to. And it's not anything just to get me out of my game or focus out of my game. That's just how I was brought up, raised, play football. Like, you talk crap, and you, like, when you make a play, you let somebody know you made that play. And you're gonna be there 100 times out of 100 times, and ain't no backing down. So, like, I appreciate my dad for that mentality a lot.
Do you have any now? Obviously, because we've been talking about NCAA 25 a lot. Is there going to be some NCAA 25 smack talk on the field? I've heard Pops is like telling no wonder you're like a 79 overall. But is that going to go to the field this year when you play some guys and just be like,
this crazy thing? I've thought
82
about
my ass.
I've thought about it, and I'll be like, you'll see the receiver from South Carolina, Nick Harbor. You'll be like, yeah, you 99 speed, bro. But, like, you got to show me something else.
I can just,
like, it's hard. Like, you could tell them, because, like, at the end of the day, you're playing against somebody, and you don't want to give them props. Like, you you give somebody props, like, hey, bro, you hard on a video game, bro. Like, that's not something you want to do. Like, but it's a couple guys that's like Quinshon Judkins, like, I know he doesn't spin like that in real life. I'll tell him that. I'll tell him, like, if we played him, I'll tell him, I was like, bro, you can't spin like you do in the game.
Yeah, that game's broken in a little bit.
There's so many things on there that needs to be patched. EA, if you're listening, like, you need to patch the spin moves. You need to patch that little glitch on kickoff where nobody can touch it. Like,
it is weird. Like, on a kickoff, like, you literally, like, if you there's I've never seen some, like, break a tackle for a touchdown. It just it's almost like a zip gone.
The broken tackle rate is extreme. I've never seen so many people, especially with the receivers that have strength that's like 42. Why are they breaking tackles? I don't know.
I've never seen a running back break out of Deion Walker so many times, which is like, yeah, come on, stop.
I've never seen, like, if I try to hit stick, like, why is he bouncing off my hit stick? First of all, EA, why I don't have any badges? Like, I think y'all are trying me.
I will tell you that on N25, I have the most pick sixes with you.
Oh, that's not. No, I get that a lot. Like, so I've seen some clips on Instagram, like viral clips. Like,
it's like, there's like the Kentucky actually. I've played with, and I don't remember who I was telling this to yesterday, but, like, I've played with Georgia. I don't like it. Like, it's the way the defense sets up. Like, I mean, I've taken down some big dogs online with Kentucky. Plus, Barry on offense is a cheat code.
Barry on and be white.
yeah. I need to upgrade him because he's fast as shit on that game.
He has 98 speed also, so it's like crazy. And it's crazy to think like, okay, so like Jordan Anthony's no longer here, but if he was still here, that'd be 3 guys in the same recruiting class that have at least 98 speed on the game.
That's. I remember when Kentucky, you would just show up and be glad we had one guy that could run like a sub 4.5.
Now we step on the field every week and it's a track meet.
Yeah, it's that's like to some of like the younger fans, they don't understand what that was like. To I remember we played Tennessee. That was a long time ago, and both teams were like 3-8. And we're like, oh, we got a shot. Like
right.
Tennessee sucks. Maybe we had won 4 games. I think of that. Maybe we were 4-7, and they were 3-7 or something, right? Or they were 3 it would have been 3-8 because we had this story anyway. And I went with my dad, and they lined up on the first play, and my dad goes, Tennessee's gonna kick their ass. And I was just like, why? Like, they're terrible. He goes, look at the size difference.
Yeah.
And it was literally like men versus boys in the trenches. And now, you guys not only have that, but boys are fast too.
Like these dudes in the SEC period, like these dudes are huge. I get on the field. Majority of the time I'm on the field, I'm the smallest guy on the field. And that's crazy to say because I'm at like 5'11", 200 pounds. Like, I'm majority of the time the smallest guy on the field. Like, and just seeing some of those giants, especially Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, their linemen are huge. Like, seeing those guys, they're huge. But then they still gotta, you feel me?
Yeah, they still gotta
show me.
They still
they still gotta show me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be like, even like the freshmen, there's some guys in that class like Cam Dooley. Like, why are you 6'4"? Yes, I'm hating.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of talked about wanting the main goal to stay healthy for your last year here. What does that look like from you walk off the field on Saturday to walking back on the next Saturday to recover and prep?
It starts as soon as the game's over, go get my behind the cold tub. Like, that's true recovery, getting in the cold tub. And it's hard, man. Getting your body, like forcing your body chest down in 40-degree water, that's not comfortable at all. But definitely starting there. I would say on Sundays, getting a massage, probably some recovery type of things in the training room. But the biggest thing probably would be me is just like making sure I get the right amount of sleep, hydrating, cold tub, like daily.
Right.
Have to. I got a lot of miles on my legs. Like, I like to tell the younger players, I'm like, well, when you get all these miles on your leg, like, I got to tell them, like, I played the most snaps in the building, like on the whole team. My career, I have more snaps played than anybody. So it's a really big priority to make sure. Like, I've been blessed to come this far, like 4 years in with no major injuries. So as long as it can stay that way, I'll be proud of myself.
Yeah, for sure.
It's look, health is a big thing for this team, but also, like, I think the interesting thing, and obviously we don't wish anybody out, right? Well, I think one of the most impressive things here, kind of what you talked about, is talent. And from, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you guys seem like you're 2 and 3 deep at certain positions. And obviously we don't want anybody to get hurt, but also that helps you from being hurt, right? Like, you can sit out a couple plays and know that there's not going to be a drop off, right?
Definitely.
That's got to help, right?
Knowing that you can, like, protect your body, like, like, because there's a big difference between playing 75 snaps a game and playing 45 snaps a game. Like, there's a huge difference. And so, like, there's a big difference in playing. And
in October and November, too.
Because, like, once you get to October, November, once you get deep in that fourth quarter, man, body's hurting. So it's all mental at that point. And so, like, as much as you can conserve that, like, without having guys getting to that point where they're not able to practice on Monday and Tuesday because their bodies are so beat up, like, that's a big goal for me. No vet days. Is that also something that's like, that you've noticed coming out of spring, that you feel a little bit more fresher because there is a lot more talent behind you? There's a lot more reps that are going around. So in the spring, I actually I was out a little bit with a little ankle injury. So I actually didn't practice majority of the spring. So being able to rest and get that rest and get my legs fresh going into the summer, I felt really good going early in the summer. And it allowed me to put a lot of pressure on my legs, like go really hard because I had been off for such a while. And so even now, like, we've had a break the last couple of days going into camp, but I've still been going at it because I feel like I'm behind. But that rest, that my legs being a little fresh, even those extra bodies, being able to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to go the rest of the spring, and we still have productive practices in the secondary that look good. Especially like looking out there, like I see myself as a coach, like an extension of the coach on the field, and so just looking out there and watching those guys like execute like everything that we've been going over in the meeting rooms, like, and without me being on the field, like it showed like that we actually have some depth that's actually able to play. So
going into the season, obviously last season, big, I would say this is the most talented team I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Right.
In my lifetime.
Crazy. I hear that every year. Like every year since I've been here, I hear somebody say like, "This is the most talent we've had. Like this is the deepest amount of talent we've had."
I think it's been, and look, you're on the team, so you can correct me if you think I'm off on this.
Yeah.
It seems though, like from top to bottom,
like I for sure
everywhere.
I believe you. Like
it seems like this way. Yeah.
It's for sure that. But nah, that's just a testament to Coach Stoops and the coaching staff and what they do and how they're able to recruit and build relationships and get connection with these kids and their families for them to trust, them.
Right.
But like every year I've been here, we've definitely taken a step up in talent, but that talent still has to put that on the field.
Sure,
so.
yeah. So I think here's like an interesting thing from a fan perspective, and like you're a senior, you're a well-oiled veteran.
Yeah.
From a fan perspective, it seems like Kentucky has put one side of the ball together, and the other side hasn't been, and it's not fully matched up. And then it did a little bit in 17, a little bit more in with Will Levis. Was that 21?
Yeah.
Right, I think you had those where obviously, Wandell was just a wrecking. You had Wandell and C-Rod. There wasn't, but like that's where I think people are really coming from. Do you feel from like the teams you've been on that like both sides of the ball are like where you could go, we can go out and just we can dominate games now, and it doesn't just have to be the defense
really
going out and like, hey, we got to win this game. We got to hold this team under 20 points because we know we might lack here.
No, we definitely
can go just run guys.
Yeah. I feel that a lot, but I also feel like we had a lot of work to do in camp. Like we got a lot of work to do, and it starts like with the leaders of the team though, for real. Just going out day one of practice is showing the younger guys like this is how we practice. Like this is how we're going to practice from now until our game 14, 15, 16. Yeah, said 16. We're you feel me?
Yeah, listen.
You gotta believe it.
Yeah, hey,
we're gonna practice every day.
You gotta manifest it, right?
It starts. Once we show the younger guys, this is how we practice, and that trickles down. That work. That's when the work starts. We start laying our foundation tomorrow morning, and as long as we keep taking steps forward every day, no steps back. Take advantage of every opportunity we got. When we get inside those white lines, we have the opportunity to do things that a lot of people don't get a chance to do every day. So when we get to just take advantage of the opportunities, and I think we'll be perfectly fine.
That's awesome, man. So we're gonna ask a couple more lighthearted questions to kind of start wrapping up. What is your what if you had like a walkout song? What would that be?
Okay. This is crazy because my cousin he plays baseball, and we go through this like at least once a week.
Okay. So it changes, right?
Yeah, he changes his. So if I had a walkout song, it would be Play a Circle and Lil Wayne, Duffel Bag Boys.
Okay.
Or Hustler Music by Lil Wayne.
Nice. Yeah. I remember Lil Wayne came onto the scene, so I'm that old. Yeah. It's so weird when you see guys and you're just like, why do you have gray hair now? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm old as shit. So last one for me, and then Kyndall's going to give you the doozy. If Zion Childress was not playing football, what would you want to be doing?
If I wasn't playing football, if I wasn't coaching football, so like
just out of football, if football wasn't kind of in your life, what's maybe the thing that you wanted to do when you were a kid?
Well, it's always been football, sports in general. Like it's always been sports. Like I got those pictures from kindergarten. It's like Future, and it was like professional athlete. But I kind of got a niche for being around like kids and teaching kids.
Okay.
It's very easy for me. I catch their attention. So I would probably say like a second grade teacher.
Nice.
First grade teacher.
Just bring my kid around and he might change his mind.
Yeah.
I have younger cousins and just like friends, and they have younger siblings, like nieces and nephews, and they all like attract to me, like my energy. And then when I sit them down, like I'll teach them like multiplication or something, and I actually get their attention and they're learning. And so I think I'd be a good teacher.
Dude, that's an admirable quality, man.
Yeah.
Like not everybody has patience with kids, especially not your own. Like I have 3 and I don't like many other people's kids. So that's a very admirable quality.
Yeah.
My son would test your patience. I'm just gonna We went for a walk around the stadium, and David Washington was just running, and my son wants to run in. He's been there by himself, and he brought him out on the field, and I was just like, I said, buddy, I'm just gonna let you know, I don't think you know what you're getting into. He ran him up and down the field.
He'll remember that for the rest of his life.
Dude, he still asks about it every time we pass the stadium. He's like, I want to go play with the kids. Now the problem is he thinks he can go walk his ass on the field and play with you guys anytime he wants. That's the problem.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like anytime I see any young fans around practice or anything, like I just make sure I do something and give them a moment that'll stick with them forever. Like
you were that kid.
Yeah. Most definitely. Like I remember All-Star game, like NBA All-Star game being in Houston, and I went to like the little events that they had before the All-Star game. And there was a bunch of like ex-NBA players playing with the kids. And I remember making a free throw, and Gary Payton gave me a $2 bill.
That's pretty cool.
Stuff like that. Like I want that to last with kids for their whole life. Like just because like them watching the games, that's one thing. But like that actual like person-to-person connection, it does a lot for us.
So I'll give you kind of like, so when I was a kid and I was in South Florida, there's this place called Higgy's, and Mark Higgs was a running back for the University of Kentucky. He played for the Miami Dolphins, had a restaurant. I was 7 or 8. It was my 7th or 8th birthday. Maybe it was maybe, I think it was 7. And I got a bunch of Marlins stuff. And so this guy, his name was Chuck Carr. He was the center fielder for the Marlins. He was in a boot. I don't even know what really happened to the guy, but he was like my favorite player at the time. We got a bunch of. My mom just walked up and said, "Hey, it's my son's birthday. I hate to bother you. Would you sign this baseball for him?" And he said, "I can do better than that." And he sits and plays and rents the whole arcade out for us for 2 hours and plays every game with us.
Nah, that's crazy.
And that was like, I will never forget that moment, you know. So it's really cool to see that and
so
to give
you're
back.
A Marlins fan?
Unfortunately, I don't want to talk about it.
What do you think about Jazz Chisholm to the Yankees?
I don't want to talk about it, dude. I've been if you follow me on Twitter, you're gonna see a lot of ranting about this. I won't rant a lot about but about the South Florida sports teams that I have, I will literally just go violent.
Bro hit 2 dingers with Aaron Judge's bat yesterday.
Yeah, well, Bendix is a dumbass anyway. Go ahead, Kyndall. I'm gonna go down a bad rabbit hole.
We'll get down a bad rabbit hole.
They don't pay their players down there, man.
Listen, I went to the World Series in '97. All right, I saw Charlie Huff get one of his 2 ever career base hits. I have been through this for a long time. And as a Florida, so I was at Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals too. So I'm a big South Florida.
Okay.
So I know what a shit run franchise with an owner that keeps his promises looks like. Florida Panthers title. Sherman, liar, came in. Hey, we're gonna fill this, and look what happened. Anyway, I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Go on, Kyndall.
Yeah, that NHL really gets you.
Yeah.
So to wrap us up, we'll just ask you one more question. Who on the team would you never let date your sister?
There's a few. Okay. First of all, if any of my teammates hear this, my sister wouldn't go for y'all anyway. But man, they're a bunch of terrible people.
I love my teammates. They suck.
They really suck, though.
They suck as people. Oh my god.
Do you know who the popular answer has been?
Harley.
Oh no.
No.
He's only got 1 vote so far.
Has it been Max?
No, he's got one vote.
Josh Caddis.
Overwhelming favorite.
I don't know. Josh is a good guy. Josh is a great guy. I've never seen Josh do anything.
Poor little Gilmore, the little freshman, getting shit on the last 2 episodes.
Harley's a wild man. South Florida's finest.
I need to talk to him.
Yeah.
Nah, I love these guys, man, but definitely would not let any of you guys date my sister.
Well, then you go with the B-Rob
Yeah, I
answer.
was gonna say,
None of y'all.
none of us.
None of y'all. But I'm pretty sure, like, I don't get that personable with a lot of guys. But the guys I get personable with would definitely not let me date their sisters.
Hey, it's a funny.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm a great guy. I actually am.
Trying to pick up the pieces.
I actually am a great guy, but man.
Hey, you can't win them all.
There's been some really funny answers, like instantaneous answers with guys just getting.
What was the most instantaneous?
Caddis.
Immediate.
Brock started that off instantly, and then we've had guys just say Caddis. Not even like didn't even breathe.
Face.
Just straight face Caddis.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Caddis.
And then
Bro,
B-Rob.
him and his brother. He has a brother that's on the team.
Uh-huh.
They have the same mannerisms. Like they're just like two different people. Like you can tell because they're not like they don't look exactly alike, but they do exactly everything exactly the same. It's kind of crazy.
Man, we agree. We appreciate you jumping on and talking with us. This has been really fun,
Yes,
and look forward to cheering you on this season, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for listening. Go Big Blue.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Bleed Blue Network podcast. We hope you enjoyed diving deep into the world of Kentucky sports with us. Don't forget to stay connected by following us on Twitter at BleedBNation. Your feedback means the world to us. So take a moment to leave a review. Not only does it help us improve, but it also helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep cheering, keep listening, and keep bleeding blue.